All right. Test, test,
Test.
test, test.
People of Earth, we come in peace.
Do you want to be taken to our leader?
No, guys, photo and video buys in a place you call Warrington. They've turned the price world upside down.
Guys?
Yes, they have everything in video. Monitor TVs, VCRs, cameras, and 35mm equipment at the lowest prices in the universe. Guaranteed.
Far out!
200 light years to be exact.
Happy New Year. Yes. And welcome back to Convincing Idiots. If you're listening to us now, you're listening to us in 2023.
Wow.
It is very early on in the new year.
It's the new year.
Uncharted
right.
territory.
That's right. So we thought that within the last couple of years, we're going to reflect. You know, New Year is a time of reflection. It's a time of anticipation for the new year, right? So we thought we would reflect upon some of the more entertaining pop culture-y things from the past year. It could be movies, it could be a television show, or something else that you enjoyed in 2022. It could be, you know, Dean's hiccups, perhaps, that you enjoyed and continue to enjoy. Yep. And then we'll talk about after that to get into what we're looking forward to in the next year. So, Nick, why don't we just start? Just name a couple. We start with how about movies? How about that?
Movies.
We start with some movies here. Do you have any movies? You don't have to name them all necessarily, but we go around and we just talk about a few movies that we thought were just some of our favorites over the past year. So, does any come to mind that you especially enjoyed over the past year, sir?
For me, recently, obviously, it's fresh on my mind. But like I said in the review, I just watched it this week. But Don't Worry, Darling is the best movie I can remember seeing in many years. So certainly, I would be remiss if I did not mention that movie. Like I said, directed by Olivia Wilde. She also stars in it, as well as Chris Pine, Harry Styles, Nick Kroll's in it. I can't think of the name of the lead actress, the main character, but she does a phenomenal job as well. So that was just, like I said, it blew my mind. It was one of those movies, very Twilight Zone-esque, very Black Mirror esque. I don't know, Brian, if you've watched that show either, but it's almost like a modern day Twilight Zone with the introduction of technology and the way humanity's headed and things like that, and kind of takes it to the nth degree. So but yeah, man, Don't Worry, Darling is definitely, movie wise, has to take the cake for the best movie I've seen this year.
I will check that out. Okay. Is there a movie that you liked this past year, D?
Bullet Train.
Yes, that was a good one.
Okay.
Yes.
Bullet Train, I don't know when, it came out this year, right?
Yes.
That movie to me was surprising because, to me it was like one of those movies that could have been just straight to box office or whatever. But the whole thing, once I saw it, it was fantastic. The writing, directing, the cinematography. Yeah, it was amazing. So that, to me, that's my pick for 2022.
Yeah, definitely a good one. Assassins on a Bullet Train.
Yeah.
Very good. Brad Pitt was exceptionally good, and then I agree. And it's streaming now on Netflix, actually. There were a lot of superhero movies over this past year. Dean gave me the #1 sign on video.
Yeah.
I think when I sit back and reflect, and certainly there were some big blockbusters here with Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. We had Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. But I think my favorite still might be the Batman. So the Robert Pattinson, the
Oh yeah, that
Batman
was
movie.
this year, wasn't it?
Yeah, it seems like longer ago, I guess, but it was just toward the
Yeah.
beginning of the year.
Yeah, it was like
And
March, February, something like that. It came out. Yeah, you're right.
Yes. Like a lot of people, really questioning the choice of having, Robert Pattinson come on and do this role. He's kind of a pretty boy and this and that and the other, but he did an excellent job as a tortured Bruce Wayne and Batman. Of course, it's set very early in Batman's career. I think it's like year 2 or something like that. So he's got brutal fighting tactics, and I think the thing that still sticks out to me in that movie is it really focuses more on his detective skills. It's not so much Batman just running around kicking ass, which he does, but Batman, of course, in the comics is known for having very good detective abilities. And and it seems like they sort of got away from some of that in some of the movies here, but this, he really showcased his ability here. The police don't know what to make of him. So if for some reason you haven't seen that one, definitely recommended. But the Batman for me is definitely one of the best movies of 2022.
I have
sure.
to echo the sentiment of that for sure. Like I forgot that was this year and I hadn't planned on talking about it, but like just the other week, Robin and I were talking about like different Batman like portrayals and things like that, and she was asking, which one I liked for this, and I said, in the suit, out of the suit, a combination of both, whatever. I said, honestly, in the suit, I would be hard pressed to find a more kick-ass Batman than Robert Pattinson.
Sure.
And I never expected to feel that way going into that movie. When they cast him, I was like, I don't really like that casting. I don't know. I don't know if it's, and granted, I had seen him. Yeah, I'd seen him in things that were not Twilight, and I'm like, Robert Pattinson is a good actor. I'm aware of that. I know he can act. I'm like, I don't see him as Batman, as Bruce Wayne, but my God, that scene, I mean, still to this day, of all the Batman movies, there's nothing that like gets the blood pumping and gets me fucking into it like that opening scene in the subway where he just beats the ever living shit out of everybody. And it's merciless and it's brutal and it's unforgiving and it's so fucking awesome. And it's just kind of like that gritty, dark Batman you want to see. You know what I mean? So, I mean, certainly as Bruce Wayne, you got to keep in mind that you're seeing him as a younger version, like you said, like year 2. But it's just, it was an incredible movie. And let's say it wasn't a Batman movie at all. Let's just take it as a movie for what it was. It was an incredible movie. It was a very entertaining movie. It was a long movie, but it didn't feel like it. It kept you interested the entire time. And yeah, man, I really was. I forgot how much I loved that movie when you brought it up. I forgot it came out this year, but yeah, the Batman it's up there for like. I think when we all reviewed it together, I kind of posed the question: does it give The Dark Knight a run for its money? Like as a film, it was just such a good movie, such an entertaining movie, and so I definitely second that pick.
Yeah, very good. And then. Just to go back and listen to, we did a Batman only episode earlier in the year, and Keith from the Cape Today joined us for that. So we talked about Afraid of Batman's. So we talk about more of that then. So go back and listen to that if you have not listened to that particular episode. Nick, do you have any other movies that come to mind?
Yeah, just upon thinking of it, I don't know if I want to say it's like top movies, but one of them. I mean, it was. I think back to movies that I saw this year. It's hard to remember them all because we stream so much now. So it's like. The going to the theater experience doesn't stick out the same way as it did before. So it's like that kind of I'm going through the Rolodex, but when I think of going to the theaters, one of the ones that sticks out, one of the most at least fun times I had going to the theaters this year was with you three and my mother. We went to see Studio 666. And I don't want to say it was one of the best movies I saw this year, but as far as let's go to the movies and have it was probably the funnest movie I've seen this year. It was the most fun movie I've seen this year. We lost Taylor Hawkins a few months later, tragically. But yeah, man, just a fun movie, with the Foo Fighters, just over the top gore, over the top, like, we talked about it on the episode. You could tell how much they enjoyed making that movie together and the fun that they had, and it really came through watching it on the big screen. So as far as movies that came out this year, that was definitely, I think that's the most fun one that I've seen this year.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a good one.
And let's give a shout out to like you said, like all the people that made the movie, of like, made the gore and whatever. How about like all the people, like, the extras or whatever, that like had to like sit there and like take the gore. You know what I mean?
Right. Yep.
They like had to like sit there and all the blood and
Oh yeah.
because
it was
hours.
A lot of the things like on a script would come across like a B movie. It was like over the top, but like the production value was not like shitty. Like it was well done. Like it was really amazing. The effects and the production were incredible. It was over the top, like silly in your face, like you would get from a B movie. So it was kind of cool. It was a mixture.
Absolutely.
It's good. I think one of the best, maybe the best movie I saw on streaming definitely amongst the top. This was not a theatrical release, but it had a lot of hype. And for me, it definitely lived up to its hype and then some. This was on Hulu over the summer. Prey. Prey was again the Predator. Yeah, the Predator prequel set with Predator fighting a Native American tribe. It's so well done. That was a model of how a good prequel could be. They weren't attempting to tie it into any future stories. Didn't have to. It's simply the Predator alien in a different time fighting a different group of people. That's it. That's all you needed. Fantastic. So if you have not seen Prey out there for some reason, go check that out on Hulu. Beautifully shot, well acted. Again, the storyline was fabulous. If you're remotely a fan of that franchise, you will definitely enjoy Prey, Prey, for sure.
I agree.
Yep. Any other movies come to mind, guys?
I would just like to quickly shout out Wakanda Forever. I thought it was, as much as expectation as I had for it, for loving the first one so much. I don't know. It's hard to sit there, and I didn't make a list of like, here's the best movies I've seen and here's why. But like, so I touched on what the most fun was and what some of the best ones I thought, cinematically were and as movies. But this one, as a sequel goes, this one certainly, as far as like touching me in the feels, this one got me in the feelings the most. Just definitely the throwbacks to Chadwick Boseman and the tributes that they paid for him. I thought was really cool. Definitely got choked up more than once in that movie.
Sure.
But not as good as the first. For me personally, like I hold that one really high on a pedestal, the first one. So it would have been almost impossible to live up to it. But I thought, as far as being the bar set so high in my mind as it was, I really liked it a lot. And I was impressed with how much I liked it for being a sequel to the movie that it was. So I like that one a lot this year as well.
Very good. Excellent. And some we kind of repeated, where he kind of talked about, I thought Glass Onion was recent, but it's still one of the better movies of the year. I thought Violent Night was, just from an entertainment perspective, was one of the better movies of the year as far as just fun. I really like the Elvis movie.
I still haven't seen that yet. I still need to see it.
HBO Max,
dude,
Nick, you can check it out there.
You have to. You have to. I mean, it's a little longer, but Nick, you have to see it.
Yeah. I do want to. It was my plan to see it.
It's beautiful.
To take my grandma to see it when we went down there, but unfortunately her health it didn't work out that way. But that would have been cool to. Although knowing her, she would have watched it and been like, he doesn't look like Elvis, because like nobody. Every time we'd see an Elvis tribute, she'd be like, he doesn't look like Elvis. He doesn't like, because nobody could compare. So it was just like, nobody was good enough to be Elvis. But yeah.
Yeah, Austin Butler really embodied Elvis.
He did.
He was very, very good. He really had the voice and mannerisms.
Nick, watch
down.
it, please.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I will. It's on my queue on HBO Max. It's on there.
Yeah, definitely check that out. Very, very, very good. So, let's see. I think that was most of the movie. I wrote down too, Nick. I was surprised the Beavis and Butthead movie. But Beavis and Butthead do the universe.
Yeah.
I have yet.
That was a fun watch. Yeah.
I watched that getting a tattoo with Scott, and
Yeah.
I thought this is going to be so dumb and stupid, but it was the one thing that made those. Mike Judge did such a good job with those characters. If you did not feel like you were so frustrated on purpose,
Right.
frustrated how stupid they are,
Yeah.
that was the whole purpose of that whole series, was to make you feel how you would laugh and feel frustrated how stupid these two were, and that movie definitely recaptured that perfectly. So good at a whole
Yeah.
different level. So
I
if you
still
like
strongly
that,
encourage you to both watch the new Beavis and Butthead episodes on Paramount Plus.
Okay.
They're quite good. They're very well written and quite good.
All right, let's get into that then. So you mentioned television shows here. So, shows.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite shows, streaming or otherwise, that over the past year you want to mention? Obviously, you mentioned Beavis and
I was
Butthead,
gonna say,
of
I'll
course.
start out there. Beavis and Butthead. I felt like we touched on it on the last episode, but they tried to reboot it, I think, around 2010, 11, something like that, and it was weird. Like, it felt forced, and I don't know, it just wasn't time, and that's what I feared that this would be. So when they were relaunching Beavis and Butthead again on Paramount Plus, I was like, I don't know. But it's really well done. They use modern day situations. They're still just as stupid as fucking ever. And instead of reviewing music videos, they review like YouTube videos, which is awesome.
Smart.
Like, it is very smart. It's the same that they've been doing. It's just a different take on it. And I thought that was really well done. So the episodes I've watched of that have been incredible. So yeah, the new episodes of Beavis and Butthead pick up on a classic. That was already kind of a masterpiece in its time. And I feel like this one kind of picks up on that.
Very good. Dean, any shows coming to mind you want to mention?
Yeah. Kindred, which I mentioned earlier.
Mm-hmm.
It is on FX. I don't know if it's on FX or like FX Plus or FX, you know what I mean? But I watched it on Hulu, just the same as The Patient.
Okay. Yes, The Patient. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the same feel, as in like you have that angst in your chest as you're watching it. It's not the same like deal, you know what I mean? It's a different story, but it's different. You definitely have that angst watching it. It's so good.
I think my favorite thing what makes a good series, like you mentioned here, you just can't wait for the next episode. Whether you're binge watching or you have to wait for the next episode, you just can't wait for the next one to start. I had a few shows that I felt that way about over the past year. A lot of good TV content. It really was strong. And it's all streaming. I mean, most of the stuff we're mentioning.
Other stuff, but go ahead.
We'll go around the table. We'll come back to you.
Sure.
Peacemaker might be my favorites. My favorite series.
Was that this year too? See, I forget about
as well.
Yeah,
it seems like longer ago. Again, it's earlier in the year, but Peacemaker with John Cena was, of course, a sequel to carried on the story from the Suicide Squad, James Gunn. I loved it. Just over the top, violent, funny.
Yeah,
and the
Vigilante is the breakout star for me.
Sure,
it's incredible.
Yeah. and the extra capper for me was John Cena. He's a Gen X guy too, and he loved a lot of hair metal albums and stuff. So that soundtrack was all through the series. Just great stuff. Thoroughly entertaining.
Playing definitely some "Baby Don't Treat Me Bad" by Firehouse.
Yeah,
all
just
that
so
shit.
good.
Just all the
so good. Yeah, so
I like that they reached deep in the soundtrack for that. There was some not the common things that you hear on the hair metal playback, like Radio Hour or whatever. Like, it was deeper stuff that I remembered that my dad liked and stuff like that. And I was like, like I said, they reached deep into the catalog.
James Gunn, by the way, just real quick, he made a playlist from that series on Spotify. So.
Cool.
If you look up the Peacemaker playlist, you can find that on Spotify for free. So check that out.
Nice.
Yep. All right, let's get Nick shows.
I've got, I can't help it. I didn't think I was going to like it this much, but they did it again. They worked their dragon magic, and House of the Dragon, the Game of Thrones spinoff.
Yep.
I did not think, especially the way the way Game of Thrones ended. I was like, I don't know. They rushed this along to end, and now they're going to rush something new along, and like, how are they going to make me care? This takes place like 300 years before the other storyline. You're not going to see any of the same people. Like, how am I going to care? They did it. Incredible storytelling, incredible writing. It's got all the things that you love about Game of Thrones. Like I said, just the gore, the storytelling. There's also nudity, the incest. It's all the things that you need from Game of Thrones. But yeah, just House of the Dragon's incredible. They're setting up for more. There's more seasons to come, and I am very enthralled with the storyline. So I'm curious to see where it goes. Like I said, it takes place so far before the family that you're familiar with in the original series that you don't. It's not like it's set in stone. You don't know exactly what's going to happen. It's so far before. So you're watching this house, this family, kind of set their footing and things like that, and how the power shifts and things like that. Like I said, if you love Game of Thrones, you would love this series. I didn't think they'd be able to draw me back in, but they did. So House of the Dragon, Game of Thrones series was just fantastic. HBO, incredible job.
All right, very good.
Dino, what you got?
I am going on my childhood, my favorite show ever. And they brought it back this season. Quantum Leap. Quantum Leap was my favorite show as a child. It was such a treasure to me growing up. Even after like the series ended, it has always been such an amazing show to me. And then when they announced it, this past year, like in like February or whatever, they were going to bring it back.
Yeah.
It's I've been so excited and so enthralled by it. And then once it did, this past 2 months ago, it's not exactly how I would have written it. But again, you are at the mercy of the writers, directors, storytellers, whatever. It would have been exactly how I would have done it, but they are doing a very good job. It's fascinating. It's fun. I'm enjoying it. So I honestly can't complain. It is the story.
They're doing it justice.
Correct. They're doing the story justice of how they see it.
One of the best Star Wars series that there is, that they've had since Andor. I know we all really enjoyed it. Well, I know Dean and I at least enjoyed Andor a lot. So
they didn't care about all that.
Yeah, highly recommended. So again, we know what it is. Tells a story of the uprising of the early days of the uprising of the rebellion against the Empire. So
very good,
just fantastic. If you have not watched Andor yet, Andor, go check that out on Disney Plus for sure.
It starts slow, but once it picks up like third episode, it's just
it's what 12
steamroller.
Right? 12 episodes,
something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
All right, give me one more, guys, and then we're that's with the time. It's getting a little late. We could talk about good stuff all year. Give me one more show from the past year, and then we'll get into what you're looking forward to in 2023.
Okay. First of all, no, I'm going to give you two combo on the last.
All right, go for it.
My last two, I'm just going to squeeze in real quick. One is a spin-off series from another series that I very much enjoy. This year was the first season of Shoresy, which is a spin-off of Letterkenny, which I very much enjoyed. I think it's the first time I've watched an entire season in one day. I watched all episodes in one single day. And
this week?
This week? No, when it came out, the day.
Oh, you're talking about Shoresy.
Yeah, Shores. Yeah, no, I haven't watched. I know Letterkenny is out.
came out this week.
Yeah, right, exactly. So I haven't started
I'm
that
waiting
yet.
for my birthday to watch the whole thing.
Okay, nice. Yeah, but Shorzy is a spinoff of Letterkenny, which we both love very much. But Shorzy is a character that came from there and went and joined a hockey league up in Northern Ontario, and it follows him around. He's kind of a famous background character, so that was just a lot of fun. There again, I'm impressed with shows that are spinoffs that come from a storyline that I'm like, okay, yeah, like I love this show, but like, how are you going to get me interested in the next one? And Shorzy, it's not the same type of thing as Game of Thrones, because Game of Thrones is a HBO well-produced drama, but Shorzy is in the spirit of Letterkenny. If you like that type of stuff, it's fun, it's a blast. It was just goofy and ridiculous, and it's same type of. If you have the sense of humor to enjoy Letterkenny, you would love Shorzy. So that one, and then another one that had a new season this year, season 3, that continues to impress me is Barry, also on HBO. That's Bill Hader's series that he is the main character in, and I fucking love that show. It's so good. It's just, I don't know, it's hilarious. The characters are very dynamic and draw you in. Every character on that show all the way around the table is just very, it has that type of sense of humor. I don't know how to explain it. It's just very Bill Hader, to where like it's a lot of times the comedy is in the discomfort in exchanges and situations and things like that. So I really like that show. So if you haven't watched Barry, the first 3 seasons, 4th is to come, I believe, on HBO Max. So that'll close it out for series that were in 2022 for me.
Actually, I will agree with Nick on the Shorzy. Starting this week, depending when you listen to this, January, 1st or whatever, the new episodes of Letterkenny drop. And to me, that is honestly the best TV, available. It's on Hulu. I mean, it's absolutely one of my.
If you're listening in Canada, it's on Crave. There you go.
Yes, exactly, exactly. But yeah, I mean, to me, it's for the past like what, 5-7 years, whatever. It's my favorite show. It's the pinnacle of what absurd humor can do, I guess. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's offbeat comedy. It's one of those. Well, I don't know how to describe it. It's not for everybody. There's certain people that I meet where I'm like, you'd like Letterkenny, but you would not. Like it's very selective.
Right.
It's not.
And when
it's not across the board. Not everybody finds it funny. Yeah.
So I mean, I'm gonna give Letterkenny as my recommendation, because that's going to be how I spend my birthday coming up here next week. So
I believe it's available now whenever you're listening, because it came out on the 25th on Christmas Day.
But I'm holding off for my birthday to watch it. So Letterkenny is my my recommendation.
Plenty more to speak to. I'll mention 2 more real quick. The Boys continues to be on season 3 on Amazon Prime. Just a very dark and probably very real, probably more realistic. I don't say more realistic, but a version of realism of superheroes. So if bad people had superpowers, there's The Boys. There you go. And another series I really enjoyed over the summer, which again I just ate up as quickly as I could watch it. The Old Man, Jeff Bridges.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. That's a good one.
Yeah, I think
was
that's on
really
Hulu.
good. I watched that.
Well, you could find that. So, just recommend. Again, plenty of good stuff is out there, but those are some of our highlights here. Okay, so you can kind of just say whether it be a TV show or a movie. What are some things, guys, that you're looking forward to seeing in 2023? Anything come to mind in particular?
You go ahead.
Yep.
I want to start with 2023. It will be January 17th on NBC. You are having the reboot of Night Court.
Oh, there you go. That's right.
There's Dean's drop of Night Court for the episode.
That's right.
Got them both in Quantum Leap and Night Court in the same
Yeah.
episode.
Right. You got to.
Yep.
You're bringing back Night Court and Quantum Leap on the show. I'm bringing back Jingle All the Way's popularity. It's just we're making it all happen.
We
exciting.
are the
Trendsetters.
we're
Tastemakers.
trendsetters. That's right.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
So yes, Night Court's coming back in
Pop culture influencer. I like the sound
There
of that.
you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Very good.
yeah, I'm looking forward to Night Court. First of all, look at it this way. You have in January you have Night Court and Quantum Leap all in the same week.
Oof.
It's a big week.
So that's just a Dean Cream Jean affair. Like it's just a whole thing.
10-year-old Dean is fucking creaming his fucking shorts.
All right.
You know, it's a good time. So,
Yeah. Excellent.
Nick, what about you?
I have 2 Spider-Man related things, if I may.
Oh,
Number one, first and foremost, is going to be Across the Spider-Verse. I cannot fucking wait.
Be good.
So
for sure.
Into the Spider-Verse was... I went into that thinking I was taking my kids to just see some like animated Spider-Man movie. I didn't even know anything about it. I wasn't educated on any of the background. I didn't know what I was going to see. And I was blown away. Cinematically, the effects, I was like, I could watch this movie on mute. It's so mesmerizing, so cool the way that they made it. And then the storyline, like to this day, I mean, it's probably my favorite Spider-Man movie. Like, it's just like, it's so fun. Like, we've watched it a million times. We love it. So when the sequel comes through, we've got Spider-Punk to expect. I'm very excited about that. Spider-Man 20 or 30, 20, whatever that
2099.
is. 2099, that's the one. So a couple Spider-Man characters that are beloved in the Spider-Man franchise that are going to make appearances. So I'm looking very forward to that. The first one was incredible. Second one, can't wait to see it. So that'll be one. And like, also, I don't know what villains to expect, so I'm very looking forward to that because they tied in a lot of villains to like there was Kingpin, Green Goblin, Dr. Octopus, like there was a lot in the first, so I'm curious to see who they're going to add to this one. I haven't heard any spoilers on that, so that's one that I'm movie wise that I'm definitely looking forward to. And then video game wise, because we were such a big fan on the PS4 of the Amazing Spider-Man video game, which won Game of the Year and was so incredible, and the storytelling and the graphics. And then I just got my PS5, and along with that, my wonderful wife got us also the Miles Morales game, which is a sequel to that, and incredible as well. We've already beat it. We beat the game. We went through the whole story mode and everything.
nice.
With the Prowler and all that stuff, all the suits.
Very
it's so
good.
fucking cool. Such a cool tie-in to the original game. Now, this year coming out is the Amazing... They're calling it the Amazing Spider-Man 2 game, I believe, which is where Miles and... Peter Parker team up together, because in the Miles Morales game for PS5, Peter leaves town to do something with MJ, and he's like, I'm going to leave Miles, because Miles is in the first Spider-Man game. He's going to leave Miles in charge, and Miles doesn't know if he's ready for this. And that is the Miles Morales game, is you are defending New York, you are causing, solving the problems that are going on in the city. So in the upcoming game, Miles and Peter team up together, and in the trailer on IGN, they have the big bad guy, which is Venom, that appears from the shadows, and that's the big reveal. So Venom will be in the next Spider-Man game, so I'm looking very forward to playing that. We, as a family, all three of us, and Robin enjoys watching even the games. The graphics are incredible, and the storytelling is great. That the first 2 games have been incredible, so we're looking forward to going on in the series and seeing that video game that comes out in 2023. So, Brian, what are you looking forward to in 2023?
A lot of good superhero content out there, I think. So I'm definitely interested in the Ant-Man and the Wasp movie, Quantumania, in February.
Yeah, absolutely.
I see Kang the Conqueror. I mean, I think it looks very interesting. I like Paul Rudd in that role as Ant-Man. I think it's going to be great. I'm just going to rattle off a couple of superhero ones. Guardians 3 comes out in, I think in May or March or May, something like that. It looks very good. I'm very intrigued on the Flash, primarily to see Michael Keaton reprise his role as Batman, even though it's really, it's like probably not going to tie into anything in the future plans of the DC Studios universe with them rebooting everything and kind of dropping Ezra Miller and everybody. But I still think it's going to be kind of an interesting movie. And non-superhero related, just from a more of a nostalgia factor. And I think this one looks pretty good. The new Indiana Jones movie.
Yes,
I think that's got some promise. I think it's going to.
So you're not scared off by the Crystal Skull or anything, being the most recent one.
No, I think it's going to be good. And I like there's some. I've seen some trailers on this. They're showing some clips of them de-aging Harrison Ford as young Indiana Jones a little bit in this, and I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to really set up the future. I think they're trying to set this right so they could do something with that franchise in the future. So that's just a couple that come to mind. That's I'm looking forward to movie wise. Yeah,
love it.
Okay. How about shows? Anything shows wise you're looking forward to? Anything come to mind?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing. Like Star Wars has been putting out a lot of great content lately.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Disney kind of fumbled initially with the movies. Let's just say, and then they kind of picked it up with the Mandalorian. Boba Fett stumbled. Now, Andor gets good reviews. I haven't seen it. And I've heard actually more than just you guys. Many people have told me how good Andor is. So yes. I will at some point.
You should.
I'm going to take the priority above the Falcon, and I'm going to bump it above that. Before I finish Winter Falcon, I'm going to watch Andor.
Fair enough.
But I do plan on watching Andor. I actually do. But I say that to say all the things that are coming with Star Wars, the things that Disney has done with it, there's nothing I'm looking more forward to than seeing the standalone series that revolves around Salacious Crumb, which I'm sure they have to be in the works with. There's certainly no doubt that they've seen the prowess. Like I've said,
right.
We on this show on Convincing Idiots have become a bit of pop culture influencers, and as I have done for Jingle All the Way, I would like to now lift up my little buddy Salacious Crumb, who is far too long just been chilling on Jabba's tail. I think it's time that we get him a series. We've heard the backstory on Wikipedia. We know what his deal is with Jabba. I think it's time that we finally see how he got to where he is. We see the hero that lies deep within this little fella. And I think it's time to give Salacious Crumb his due. So let's hear that laugh on a TV series.
Never know. I'm kind of with the Star Wars. I mean, they've had some pretty good content here. So just a couple things to rattle off here. The Mandalorian season 3 in March. Interested in this to see where it goes. Secret Invasion on Disney Plus. This is
that'll be fun.
Samuel Jackson, and this is the Skrulls that have infiltrated the Earth.
Right.
They kind of set this up in the prior movie. So Samuel Jackson as Fury. I'm in. I don't care what it is. I'm going to watch it. Loki season 2 comes out in the summer.
That's probably one of the most I'm looking forward to. Honestly. Yeah.
I think it's going to be fantastic. Really, all the superhero stuff is intriguing to me. I like it. Ironheart is interesting with the girl with the Iron Man suit. They have Echo coming out, which they introduced her in the what was it? The Hawkeye series against the Kingpin and stuff. There is another Star Wars Skeleton Crew, which I'm not that familiar with, but it's another. It takes place around the Mandalorian time frame here, so
there's the Acolyte.
That's right. That's coming out as well. So
which was a tag team in the WWF, if I'm not mistaken.
Sure, that's right.
And then next winter, probably around the holidays, the Agatha Coven of Chaos.
Oh yeah,
the follow-up to the Scarlet Witch and Vision series comes out then. So I think it's going to be yeah. And then there's the Boys. There's a spin-off here, Gen V, which is like a younger person version. They're like offspring, I think, of the Boys, or they're not offspring, but they're younger people with powers. I just saw the trailer for this. It looks very interesting. So just a few things that come, and the Ashoka series comes out this year, also on Disney Plus. So again, a lot of good Star Wars content coming out. And one I caught is in March. White House Plumbers. Now, this is with it's around the Nixon Watergate with Woody Harrelson. Looks kind of interesting. That comes out on HBO.
Sure.
In January. So a lot of good content. Yeah, a lot of good content.
Most of all, content-wise, what I am looking forward to in 2023 is a Toronto Maple Leafs Stanley Cup. And hey, I'm going to throw it in there for my odds, right? Brian will agree. A Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl. Let's go. We're going to manifest it into existence. Let's go.
That would be something
You two
else.
have a lot of fun. Good luck.
That would be something else. Yeah. All right, well, guys, it's been another great year. Of pop culture content.
And to anyone that's been listening to us through this year or last year or any other year, the year before it, which would be the only other one, we appreciate you. We thank you. And thank you for hanging with us. If you give us 10 minutes of your ears time, we appreciate you. So thank you so much.
Yes, absolutely. We look forward to continuing to do this every week. So again, like you said, thank you, and thank you guys again for setting time aside to do this together every week. So thank you, appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Nick, you want to take us out, sir?
Thank you so much for joining us for this episode. You know what? No voices. You know what? We're not doing voices. We're just going to be real here for a minute. You and I, we're going to have a moment. You and me, we're going to make eye contact. We're going to have a moment. And for this episode of Convincing Idiots, for this year of Convincing Idiots, for this past 2+ years of Convincing Idiots, I would like to thank you. We would like to thank you for joining us. If you would like to continue supporting this podcast, please do so. If you have already, we thank you. But you can do so by going to our Linktree, Convincing Idiots Linktree. Just Google it, Convincing Idiots Linktree. You can find all of the links as well as so much more. So please like, subscribe, rate, review. You can also go to our website, convincingidiots.wordpress.com, and there you will find all of those links and so much more. Our merch store, our tidbits about us, things like that you can learn, as well as all the podcast platforms in which you can listen to our lovely voices every single week if you choose to spend your time so wisely, and we thank you so much. Again, we are Millennial Nick.
I'm the Zennial Dean. Go!
Gen X Brian.
And we are the clunkiest podcast that you listen to. And have we convinced you to clunk your way through 2023 with us, please? And thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
We
love you,
everybody.
Hey, Dean with Convincing Idiots. Brian and Nick here. Like and subscribe.
Is there a movie that you liked this past year, D?
None that I think of.
All right. Well, one for me is arguably my favorite. Not even arguably. I think.
I got one.
Go ahead.
I got one. I'm sorry. I got one.
I'm going to say shit and I'm going to interrupt the fuck out of you when you do finally.
Shut up. No, I got it.